Hello and welcome back to OmniFoot TV. This is your host Omar speaking, and today's video is going to be about the Kylian Mbappe soap opera happening at PSG currently. Now, there's some news that has come to light, and it is a state of emergency of footballing proportions of the highest order, primarily. Al Hilal of Saudi Arabia have supposedly or reportedly made a 300 million euro bid, which amounts to, I think, 255 for 59 sterling pounds for Mbappe, with an expected wage of 700 million. It's become apparent that the Saudi Arabian clubs are now quite possibly the richest on the planet. That what they're doing for their league long term is going to obviously have the best possible effect on the perception of football in Asia, not just in their country. But this is suicidal. For a player like Mbappe as well to go out on a limb and scrutinize his own club, it's causing an amount of drama that we have not really seen, be it from the club's perspective or from the players. We've seen clubs and players butt heads during the transfer window before, but it's never been this intense. And it's never had implications of this kind. The interesting part, though, and I'm kind of pausing because I'm still processing it, and I saw this yesterday, our time here in Canada. I'm sure you guys probably saw this maybe early yesterday morning if you're in Europe or Middle East or wherever else. But Mbappe is apparently, and this has been reported by Sky, this has been reported by the Daily Mail, it's been reported by, I've seen it everywhere. These are just the top two sources from the top of my on the top of my head. Excuse me. Apparently, he is prepared to sit through the entire season, not play a single game, to force a move for free. Now, it's long since been known that he does indeed want to leave Paris for free. But for him to agree to sit out an entire season for his club, still get paid for not doing his job, and then leave for free is quite frankly one of the most disrespectful things I've seen an athlete think to do. That's if this is correct. Now, I don't necessarily know what's with this generation of footballers, to say the least, but I don't think any of us expected something of this magnitude. The interesting part, again, is that he has his eyes set on Real Madrid. Every single source under the sun that I've come across, at the very least, has said that he's agreed personal terms with Madrid pending the signing of the contract. Now, PSG would obviously gladly take on the fee pushed by Al Hilal. They'd accept the bid in a heartbeat. But then you have the player. If he does end up going to the Saudi Professional League, he will most probably spend that season there. Now, to me, bearing in mind the value this kid brings with him, he's not worth 700 million a season with a 300 million price tag for a single season, for one single season of football. Bearing in mind that Al Hilal would basically function as the bridge to Madrid, and Madrid would have to end up paying Al Hilal for his services. Madrid used to be the club that had almost every other player who could have ever dreamt of playing in or at the highest level at their feet. And to think that they are already struggling financially. It's mind-boggling to me that the Saudi clubs can now afford to pay or push on bids that make every other club in world football look like they have no money at all. Sure, it's a safety net. It provides a sense of security for them as clubs, as a league. But I genuinely shudder to think and wonder constantly, and I have been wondering what their presence in the transfer market is going to mean going forward. We have a generation of footballers who are more so incentivized by the money pumped into the game than they are by actual ambition. That's my humble opinion. And to see many names move to Saudi Arabia despite the fact that they still have the potential to make it big where it matters, and that is in Europe, without question. I can understand it when players say that they want to support their families. I've heard that multiple times. But the amount of money that they're on in Europe anyways is more than enough to do such a thing. There's much more greed in football, and I think Mbappe serves as a very good example. And PSG did give him more than enough power, as is. When I saw the headline break that they were trying to give him a certain amount of power only given to the sporting director at the club, I didn't believe it. I'm not sure if that even, like, we've seen it pop up multiple times throughout the past year that they wanted to allow that to be a stipulation should he have stayed. He has way too much power at the club. And for the president himself to have to go on record and butt heads with a player, something in the dynamic is wrong. Something within the hierarchy in and of itself is broken. There is a lack of wisdom in regards to decision making that led to this situation, that led to this circumstance. This one player, who currently is at the top of his game, has achieved things that others have only dreamt of. Scoring a hat-trick in a World Cup final is obviously any child's dream, let's just put it that way. And Mbappe's done that. Now he thinks he's bigger than his club. He is so financially driven, it seems, and it sets a horrible example. And it will continue to set a horrible example wherever else he chooses to go. Now, multiple clubs are interested in him, but interest can only take you so far. There is no way these clubs are going to manage to pay out his wages, especially. I even read that PSG tried to offer him a 1.1 billion euro lifetime contract. I mean, I understand that the Qatari money is overflowing, but this is ridiculous. And for Saudi Arabian money to be going into Qatari pockets, the Gulf states, these Gulf states are playing, they're playing chess with European football. And it's only going to evolve from this point on. And whatever Mbappe does choose to do is going to impact football on a global level. And that's my 2 cents. If you agree with what I've said, let me know in the comments below. If you disagree as well, do the exact same thing. Hopefully we'll have some proper discourse. Like this video if you haven't already, if you've enjoyed the content. Push that bell notifications button because we post content on a daily basis, and subscribe to the channel if you are new or if you're a recurring viewer. My analytics tell me that we have 95% of our viewers that aren't subscribed, and only 5 or 4% are. So I don't know what you guys are waiting for. Thanks again for tuning in, and I will see you all next time that we